In a land where wealth was measured by the shine of gold and the height of mansions, lived a merchant whose riches were spoken of in whispers. His ships crossed oceans, his warehouses overflowed, his marble home glittered like a palace. But inside, the man carried a heart colder than stone. He had not always been this way. Years ago, he had been kind, generous, respected and loved, until the day his wife died giving birth to their son. When the midwives placed the infant in his arms, something inside him shattered. He looked at the child with a heart split in half, love tangled with blame. He never spoke of his wife again. He never healed. He raised his son Kabir with every material comfort, but no affection. Tutors, books, horses, fine clothes, everything except warmth. Every time he looked at the boy, he saw the eyes of the woman he lost, and he turned away. Kabir grew up surrounded by abundance and starved of love. By 19, he stopped trying to win his father's attention. Silence had calcified between them into something cold and permanent. Then fate intervened. A fire consumed the merchant's largest warehouse. Creditors descended like vultures. In 3 months, he lost his ships, his properties, even the marble mansion. Father and son stood on the street with nothing but a bag of coins. For the first time in his life, Kabir saw fear in his father's eyes. They walked from town to town, taking whatever work they could. The once powerful merchant now carried bricks for a few rupees a day. Kabir hauled water and cleaned stables. They slept in charity shelters and ate scraps when food was scarce. The father refused to speak to anyone. Shame swallowed him. He sat alone, wrapped in bitterness. Kabir noticed something strange. The poorest people in the shelter seemed happier than he had ever been. An old woman sang every morning. A day laborer shared his dry bread with a smile. A young mother played with her children, though she didn't know how she would feed them the next day. One evening, Kabir sat beside an old sadhu stroking a wooden bowl. "How do you live with nothing?" Kabir asked. The sadhu smiled. "Nothing? Child, I have everything." Kabir stared at the cracked walls, the torn robe, the empty bowl. He didn't understand. The sadhu lifted the bowl gently. "This bowl has fed me for 40 years. When it is full, I am grateful. When it is empty, I am still grateful, because I have hands to hold it, breath in my lungs, and another chance to live." Gratitude does not come from having much. It is what turns little into enough. Kabir lay awake that night, and something shifted inside him. The next morning, he whispered, "I am grateful for this day. I am grateful we are alive. I am grateful for this roof." The words felt strange, but something loosened in his chest. He continued. Every day, he found 3 things to be grateful for: the sunlight, warm tea, strength in his body. Slowly, his spirit softened. He laughed more. He helped strangers. He sang as he worked. His father watched, silently. Months passed. Then one winter morning, Kabir found his father burning with fever. They had no money for a doctor. Through the night, the man trembled and whispered the name he had never spoken. Since that tragic day, his wife's, Kabir held his father's hand and sobbed, "Please don't leave me. You never loved me, but I'm still grateful you're my father. I'm grateful you raised me. I'm grateful we're together. Please, don't go." Through fever and confusion, those words reached the father like sunlight cutting through darkness. 3 days later, the fever broke. Morning light shimmered through the window. Kabir lay asleep on the ground, still holding his father's hand. The father looked at him, really looked, and for the first time, didn't see the wife he lost, but the son he still had, the last gift she ever gave him, the one thing he never appreciated. Tears slipped down his face. I am grateful, he whispered. To you, for your patience, for staying when I gave you nothing to stay for. Kabir stared in disbelief. I blamed you for the pain of losing her, his father continued, voice breaking. But you didn't take her from me. You were what she left behind. I was too wounded to see it. Can you forgive me? Kabir fell into his father's arms. There's nothing to forgive. I'm just grateful you're here. That moment healed 20 years of silence. The father changed. Like Kabir, he began each morning with gratitude for work that strengthened his body, for simple food or people who showed kindness, for the son he had finally learned to love. One evening, the sadhu met the merchant. Your son taught you the secret, he said. Father nodded. I used to ask, what more do I need to be happy? Gratitude taught me to ask, what do I already have that I never appreciated? The first question makes a man hungry forever. The second makes him full forever. Years later, father and son saved enough money to open a tiny tea stall on a busy street corner. Not much, a little cart, a pot of tea, a few samosas, but it was theirs. And they treated every customer with warmth. If someone couldn't pay, they fed them anyway. People came not just for tea, but because they felt seen. One day, a wealthy merchant stopped at the stall, one of the men who once profited from the father's downfall. He did not recognize him. This is excellent tea, the man said. With service like this, you could build an empire. The father smiled gently. I had an empire once. I lost it and learned I didn't need it. Today I have my son, my health, my purpose, and this moment. I am richer now than I ever was. That night, father and son sat beneath the stars on the rooftop above their small rented room. Tell me about her, Kabir said softly. And for the first time, the father did. He spoke not of tragedy, but of laughter, kindness, and love. When he finished, he whispered, I spent 20 years grieving what I lost, instead of honoring what I was given. Gratitude finally opened my eyes. Kabir held his father's hand. We didn't find each other by luck. We just had to lose everything else first. They sat in silence, not rich, not poor, just present, just grateful, whole. When Kabir later had children of his own, he kept the sadhu's wooden bowl on their family altar. When the children asked why, he told them, it doesn't matter what fills the bowl, rice or jewels. What matters is whether the hands holding it are grateful. Gratitude doesn't change what we have. It changes how we see. And the children understood. The greatest wealth is not what we store in our homes. It's what we carry in our hearts.